Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our coping skills series. Just a quick reminder for those of you that weren't on the series last week, my name is Kathryn Rowe, and I am the mental skills coordinator for the Baltimore Orioles minor league teams. I am a licensed mental health professional, and I am also a former collegiate athlete myself, where I played soccer at the University of Rochester. So, last week, number one of the series, we had talked about deep breathing, and I hope you guys have given it a shot, have practiced it, and continue to practice it. And today we're going to build off of that and that skill. So let me share my screen real quick with you. We're going to get going. Drum roll. And here we go. Mindfulness. This is where what we're going to be talking about today. Okay. And this is a hot term right now, a really hot term in society, not just sports, but society. And why is that? What is the big deal about mindfulness? Well, we're going to go through that today. So again, what is mindfulness? What the heck is this? Is it just sitting and meditating? No. What the heck is it? So mindfulness is paying attention on purpose to the present moment. Now sit with that for a little bit in this present moment. And why is that important? Why the heck do we want to think about the present moment? Well, this is the big why for mindfulness. And we had talked about this a little bit last week with the breathing. A lot of times as humans, we think about things in the past or focus on them for a long time or think about things that are going to happen in the future. Think about a task that you've ruminated over after it's already done. You can't change it. You're already done with it. You turned it in. Or think about a performance that you've had, right? And you think about it like days before, it's leading up to it, and you're getting really nervous. In reality, we need to focus in on the present moment because that's what we have control over. We can't change the past, we can't change the future, but we can control our actions in this present moment, what we have control over. So again, some quick examples, like if you've been golfing before and you ruminate over a bad hole that you've had, or at nighttime when you're freaking out about like a date that you have coming up the next day and you can't go to bed because of it. Or if you're in a meeting, like I guarantee almost all of you during this series, the past minute and a half or so, your mind has wandered at some point during it, right? To something else that you have. Or you just get super mad super quickly over something. Your roommate does something that just really irritates you, and all of a sudden you just lash out. If we were really mindful in these moments, we would be able to control these sensations, emotions, thoughts, feelings, and bring us back to the present moment, which calms us down. Okay, so why again? Like, why is this important? Well, overall, this is going to promote self awareness, which in sports psychology and mental skills is the big takeaway factor. Because if you don't have self awareness, you can't make changes. It's going to lower your stress. Huge. Regulate your emotions so you're not going from happy to angry and lashing out. It's going to help improve your focus and concentration. So think about it. I know I did this, a culprit of this in college. I'd be reading a textbook and I'd be like, what did I just read? So it's going to help you with focusing and concentrating. If you have unhelpful thoughts or anxious thoughts, it's going to help decrease those because you're going to be aware and be able to stop them. Again, here we go. Oh, this is a cool one, especially with sports. So think about when you have fitness testing, right? And you get to that point where you hit that wall and you start to be like, I'm just going to quit. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. So mindfulness actually helps with that physical discomfort because you're aware of it and you acknowledge it and then you move forward. Okay. So these are all really great examples of why mindfulness is such a great coping skill. So how? So really important thing here. How the heck do we practice it? So these are the core features of mindfulness and things that it can help, right? So again, it's paying attention on purpose to the present moment and what you're doing. So in this exercise, like watching this video, I want you to go back again and watch it and recognize when your mind wanders and just bring it back to what I'm saying, noticing how much it wanders. And again, observing these thoughts, feelings, and bodily sensations. So recognizing in these moments the thoughts we're having, the feelings, if you're nervous, if your stomach's upset, if you're sweating, right? Like my hands right now are sweating, noticing those things and putting a label to them. Like my hand is sweating. My thoughts are anxious. I am angry right now. Putting mental noting them helps you to acknowledge it and then move back to the present moment. And acknowledging them, like I said, recognizing them, and then moving forward and refocusing yourself. And this is a crucial part of mindfulness, being non judgmental and accepting. A lot of times, especially as athletes, we are very hard on ourselves because we're competitive humans. A lot of perfectionists out there, I'm sure. What does that typically do? Usually doesn't help us, makes us stressed and angry, and there's a lot of self deprecating thoughts. So, with mindfulness, the big thing is just acknowledging without judgment. Okay, full disclaimer, I know that is easier said than done. Okay, this is something that takes a lot of practice. And I want you to try to go forth. And the thing is, so I'm going to stop sharing here. The thing is, meditation is a form of mindfulness. It's one of the most common ways because it promotes you working on being aware of when your mind wanders and bringing it back to the present moment. So I would go on YouTube. They have great meditations on there. They have just deep breathing meditations. They have progressive muscle relaxation scripts. You can literally type in any type of meditation and figure out what works for you. There's also apps, Headspace, Calm, 10% Happier. These are great apps that can help you. You can also practice mindfulness by when you're reading, right, for school or doing homework and recognizing when your mind drifts off to, gosh, I'm really hungry right now. I really just want to go eat my meal. Okay, I'm hungry. Acknowledge, bring it back. Or in practice, when you think about how you have to go and do work after, bring it back to the present moment. And this is I think, one of the biggest pointers I love to acknowledge, especially with athletes. And I get this all the time. Kathryn, I tried practicing mindfulness and my mind wasn't silent. It just was going all over the place. I couldn't bring it back. My mind, like I couldn't stop thinking. And I sit there and I go, good. That is what's supposed to happen. Because with mindfulness, the point isn't to quiet the mind, right? The point is to acknowledge when your mind is wandering, because that's what it's supposed to do, and bring it back. You can't shut your mind off. Wouldn't that be great if sometimes we could? We can't. The point is to acknowledge when it's wandering to the past or the present and bring ourselves back. So you're going to practice this. I want you to try maybe 3 minutes of a meditation or doing something mindful, a mindful walk or mindful dishes or mindful homework, and just notice when your mind wanders and bring it back. It's going to happen like hundreds of times. Trust me. I I still my mind wanders all the time when I'm practicing mindfulness. But again, the point is not to quiet that. It's just to be in control of those sensations, thoughts, emotions. So this week's challenge, find a meditation, try 3 minutes. It could even be doing your deep breathing for 3 to 5 minutes and noticing and recognizing when those thoughts are wandering, your mind is wandering and what it's wandering to. Okay. Big challenge. Here we go. Mindfulness. Ooh, see you next week for part 3.